Smitty. Happy Saturday night. Are you guys ready to talk Real Housewives of actually Beverly Hills, because there's so much going on. Have you guys been following anything that's going on with Diana? Have you heard the blogs? Anyone? Well, tonight we're going to do a little bit of a recap on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in honor of Diana and everything that's coming out about her. The rumors are endless, from Madam to, child trafficker, like some dark stuff. So we'll try to stay late because it's a Saturday night. But before we get started, hit that like button, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, turn those notifications on. I look a little rough tonight because I've been cleaning and working in the yard and painting. So I don't usually look, I'm a little more well manicured, but it's a Saturday night, so I thought, let's drink and talk housewives. Who's in the chat tonight, guys? Who wants to talk about Diana? We can talk about Sutton, because we know that girl came out on TikTok and said that Sutton's daughter was her friend and that she had to quit being friends with her because her mom was a racist, and people were blaming Lisa Rinna, of course. But was it? Is this whole thing a distraction? Hey, Dreamer, actually better than makeup. Oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate that. This is rough lighting for an old woman like me. Okay. I don't know where my other light's at. Hey, good to see you in the chat tonight. Are we happy it's Saturday? Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. Seriously, I've been working all day. I thought I looked so rough. I just was like, well, we got to talk. Sometimes you just can't always be ready, you just have to come on freestyle with no makeup or not enough. But have you guys been checking out what's going on with the blogs with, everything? Now Kathy Hilton's getting into it. She's talking about getting Kim Richards back on the show. She's, I guess alluding to the fact that she's kind of taken over the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. However, we haven't seen her at all yet this season, which is astonishing to me. When are they bringing the new women on? I don't understand. I don't know. It's getting the ratings. It's definitely getting the ratings. Diana's not getting very good publicity. I told you guys that morning that Crystal had blocked me. At what time? I found out at 8 o'clock. I started posting and I went live at 9 a.m. And at some point, I have been on her page, looking at some of the cryptic messages that she was tweeting, or not actually tweeting, Instagramming, when all of this was going on, allegedly, with Sutton and the dark comments. So I was really kind of checking out her Instagram, and all of a sudden I noticed that I was blocked. I couldn't check it anymore. And that was the morning of this whole incident, right? You broke the news first. Glad I subscribed to your channel. Thank you, TS. I appreciate that. That was one of those days I didn't have any eyebrows on. I was I have to go. It has to happen now. So when I went live at 9 o'clock, by that point, she had blocked me at some point, which is so strange because later on, we heard that allegedly Crystal is the one that called Diana in the morning and was like, oh my gosh, what are you posting? Blah, 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 blah. And then LaBelle says they both need to do something to move the storyline along because the last 2 episodes have been slow and boring. I agree with you 100%. They're not going to talk about any of this on the show. And I'm like, are we getting a diversion here? Oh, what I wanted to get back to about Crystal was now she unblocked me. Now I'm unblocked. Isn't that so weird? I think that's weird. Why would you block me and then unblock me? Right? Don't you guys think that's a little strange? You block me the morning of, you call Diana, whatever transpires, and then at some point you unblock me? You could just, she probably has 2 accounts where she looks if I was a famous person and I didn't ever want anyone to know that I was looking at other people's Instagrams, I would just make up a fake Instagram, a stan, and do it that way. And I feel like she would have that. So, I don't know. Dana Wilkie brought up a really great point. I listened. I know, Alan. I thought so too. I'm am I feeling crazy right now? Because this feels so weird to me and I double checked that it was her. But I watched Dana Wilkie. I wouldn't follow Crystal Dangerous. I know, Groovy. I think something's wrong. I mean, some people have commented, like, she's just very adolescent, like, even in her, like, I don't know, she's very smart, like, which kind of is a little bit scary because sometimes people that are like some of the famous sociopaths in the world are like very intelligent people, like people that are very high IQs, you know what I mean? Like they're eccentric but borderline almost genius, but sometimes have the ability to not be able to feel empathy for people or compassion. And that's like your, textbook sociopath, really. Um, like I refuse to follow Rinna. Rinna's so wild that, I mean, that's what starts to make me feel like is all the Unabomber. Exactly. Exactly. Like, didn't he have like a 36-page manifesto? I think it was crazy. Yeah, everything, it is slow watching the episode. If all of this stuff wasn't transpiring online, I think that people would be more apt to be complaining and saying that, why haven't we met any of the new women? Why haven't we seen Kathy? It's called textbook communism. Thank you, Groovy. We have Groovy is very smart. Textbook communism. But yeah, I feel like this is almost on purpose because the episodes have been dry. Yes, and highly educated. They're dry. Like we heard they go to Mexico, like PK decides, yeah, where's Will Smith's ex-wife? Like she could be we could already be meeting her. Bravo needs to really take this serious. I doubt that they address it. And I already feel like she's putting trolls on people, like that she is deterring people. I don't know. I think that she probably is even paying people. Love Dana and her tea. She definitely knows her stuff. I highly recommend her Patreon. It's really point and juicy. I agree with you. She has always been very lovely to me, and she was one of the first people I was on her podcast a long, long time ago, for like a criminal justice, reducing recidivism type of patron. But I love Dana. I mean, she's good people. She's good people. And she does know a lot of people. I mean, she lived in Beverly Hills, so she does have a lot of insight into things that other people don't. So I think that she definitely probably has some great contacts for information, maybe not on every franchise, but I think that Beverly Hills, in my opinion, would probably be her strongest suit, just like I feel like Kelly Dodd would have the most information about Orange County, because she still talks to Tamara and Shannon, and, she has the best probably contacts in Orange County because she was on the show. Which, have you guys heard about Gina? Sip your tea, grab your pearls. Have you guys heard about Gina? Now you guys heard Travis the boyfriend, right? Let's rewind a little bit. After the domestic happened at the reunion, right? Then Gina Groovy, I love Kelly Dodd. I mean, I know there's things I like about her and things that annoy me about her, and I think that Rick is really great at like navigating the conversation, and he speaks to Kelly in a way that she is, she responds well. TS says Gina can go. So Gina hooks up with Travis, and we're hearing how wonderful Travis is, right? And she buys her condo with her 3 children because it's like, a 3-bedroom condo. So, or 4-bedroom, maybe each kid. Nope, it was a 2-bedroom. Like the boys were going to share a room and the girls were going to share a room or something along those lines. She meets Travis. Well, he has 3 kids too, but they have a mom, so I don't know what their custody is like. Rick balances Kelly out. Yeah, and he doesn't get annoyed. Like his patience are so endless for her. Like he just really, you don't see him he's not bothered by much she says. I loved Gina too, and I mean I did, but I didn't sometimes, and this is like, we're hearing that they're has been domestic abuse in the home with the children. When she moved Travis in, I think he did have like every other week with his kids or something. So they basically like all the girls were in one room and all the boys were in another room, and they had did like bunk beds in there, and they were cute. You know, she owned her condo, so we have to give her kudos for owning a condo. Shannon rents, Kelly rents. Yes, Kelly and Rick are building a house near Palm Springs, but just like Kyle said, that area in real estate is not super build up yet. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire, not far behind it. I do not think Gina has issues with the booze. Unfortunately, Gina's lifestyle is not appropriate for Orange County. Well, I guess there was like some domestic things going on with the kids there. So that's why there's a little bit more, I guess, being taken serious. I don't care for Gina. This show got hurt to her head. She kicked Travis down the stairs. And Andrea says, I do believe the booze rumors. I think that there's probably a good possibility. I mean, she did get a DUI. Not saying that that's like couldn't happen to 90% of Orange County drinks and drives. So, I mean, that's not saying that she's any different than anyone else. But, I mean, we could all say that Shannon drinks too much and so does Kelly. I mean, that's their life in Orange County. But I feel like she might teeter on, like, depression, like closet drinking, hiding bottles type of addiction. But I don't know that to be true. So that's just a little bit of my impression, a little bit of my opinion, since we're on a live, give my opinion. I don't believe the domestic violence rumors. I hope not. But there were like the kids were saying like that they would go in the bedroom and lock them out. Gina is living an average life, getting into trouble. If she was rich or wealthy, getting into trouble, then we would watch. She's boring and does not live the life. Right, because LA, you're right. Like, we could go film a crazy drunk lady kicking her boyfriend down the steps down the street. You know what I'm saying? With a house that has too many people living there. But they don't drive. They hire a ride. Yeah, they do. But I think that's because she got a DUI. That's why they're really careful now. But first, there was lots of rumors that, one, he owed a hell of a lot back child support. And the second one was he wasn't working. That, like, he was just escorting her on the show, to a couple events, and then would go to events with her, to do press. And he was watching the kids. That was his job while she was filming. So that already doesn't seem like a great dynamic. Like, I don't know. That doesn't sound great. But again, still leaving him behind in child support, unless if she was like literally paying him to watch the kids, which maybe she was. Who knows? But that was the number one thing that we heard about Travis. And then now we're, hearing this. But the worst part was the kids said, sounds like a sugar mama. I guess. I think she really loves them. I mean, I think they would, I just think that I don't know. I feel bad for Gina. She can't catch a break. That's what I mean, Dina. I mean, it would take a very special person to be able to live in a home with 6 children and a whole nother adult in, a couple of bedrooms. Like, that shit is probably really hard. And like, you're going to work and your dude's at home. That's hard. Like, it's hard on them too, because they want to feel productive, and sometimes they might feel funny, you know what I mean, taking money from you or whatever. So just like it like blurs the lines too much. Especially because it's like a newer relationship. But at least she didn't marry him like Megan Edmonds, okay? Travis looks like a little pushover. He does. Holy cow, I couldn't live with Gina. I was pissed that she wore a 2-piece to the reunion. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest. I was like, really, that looks like a picnic. I think he supports her to the best of his ability. He very well could. I don't really know much, like I said, just the things that I hear. And he could be just trying to support her. But she could be definitely beating the F out of him. Who knows? I mean, if she is closet drinking. But the kids said that they were locking them out of the bedroom. And that made me feel suspicious. I didn't like that. She's a domestic violence victim herself, and so am I. I would never inflict that on anyone else, especially on my partner, my kids, or my partner's kids. Yeah, that's tough. If she's drinking, then she, isn't thinking very clearly, I'm sure. I don't know. I hope that's not the case for her. I really wish her happiness, but I hated that reunion look too. I just hated it. It was a two-piece outfit that she could have worn to a picnic. I'm like, now you're on one of the best franchises on Bravo. Like, own your shit, Gina. Like, come on. Like, step it up a little bit. Shannon rocked last year's reunion. That's the best she's ever looked. Hands down, the best Shannon has looked at a reunion. In Beverly Hills, what did you guys think about Sutton buying that $5,000 ring at that store? Did Mauricio leave Kyle? I doubt it. Did Kyle have a breast reduction and go on Instagram and say that she hurt her back, but not tell anyone how she hurt her back, and had everyone messaging one another, wondering, trying to find someone who knew how she hurt her back? Was it, an exercise? What was it? Groovy, I can't wait for the ultimate girls trip. Yes. Why did she move him in when he's not divorced yet? I know. These are not little babies. They get it. I know. Mauricio is not leaving Kyle, who's related to Rothschild. I don't think he's leaving her either. I mean, he's been cheating on her for years. I hope she isn't abused, but wouldn't surprise. Gina rushed into the relationship. She did. Maybe she just needs a mama timeout. My son is always in face. I couldn't imagine 3 at 1. That's what I'm saying, Dina. I'm with you. Like, I have one, and I'm like, days where and my mom's passed away. So, like, no one to come be like, I know that you need a break right now because I'm a mom, and I couldn't imagine 3, let alone 6. So yeah, no, not my good light. Oh gosh, guys, you think I look good with makeup until my good light goes out. Please come back on. As bright as you can be, please, God. Are you guys having fun? I talked to Philly. I got the chance to message with her. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. No? Maybe? Please? I got a chance to talk to her. She messaged me. She's so sweet, by the way. She was on Up and Adam. I guess she did commentary with him for a long time, even before he got really big. I guess she did panels with him. So I thought that was pretty cool. She works a full-time job, so obviously this is like a lot for her, and she's getting a lot of followers. And I think that Adam actually took her to an event where Margaret Josephs was there, that I think road trip, or he was hosting. I don't know what he was doing, but I thought that was super sweet of him to do. She was like front row, and they were like interviewing Margaret. Gina would have more sense just knowing how to show. Yeah, I agree. I missed this week's episode, but getting the scoop through the bloggers. Absolutely. I mean, that's just how it is sometimes, right? You can't help it. Like, it's work or your kids or whatever. So sometimes you just gotta listen to us. We'll throw you in. Sutton bought a $5,000 ring on vacation. It was the most expensive thing in the store when they went shopping. I feel like Lisa Rinna. Oh, thank you, Labeth. $3.99. You are the best. You are so sweet. Did you guys not feel like Lisa Rinna and Erica specifically got Crystal to surf and Diana so that they could get her alone and try to film her and to talk about what was going on? Because I think that's exactly what they tried to do. I think they had that work out perfectly on purpose, because they all wanted to be like, come on, Crystal, tell mommy everything. The ring was so damn ugly. I know. I hate Diana, and that was the first thing I saw on her before the pics after showed husband. Even he was taken back by the major difference. I think Travis's ex, Megan, is being vindictive by bringing up Gina's DUI in the custody case. Yeah, that's shitty. Whatever makes Sutton happy, yes. Those brows beat Crystal. They made her cry. I think they wanted to know what was going, but I don't think they wanted to. I don't know if they made her cry, wanted to make her cry, but I think that they wanted to get her alone, be like, and corner her without cornering her. Like, she knows that she's new to the crowd. These women are all very experienced. Lisa Rinna, for one, and whatever Lisa's not, experienced in, Erica is. I agree, and Diana shut it down when she didn't want to discuss the topic all about the book because she pushed him down the stairs. Adrian. They got her alone and they played off each other. They could have cared less whether she cried or not. Exactly. Kyle was being so fake this episode. I feel like she was egging them on to make her cry. I don't even know if her tears were like super real even. Or if she had a reason to really cry. I mean, I understand her reason and maybe her frustration, but I mean, we really don't know because she started this. That's what I feel like is a little strange to me is that her mannerisms and her like aura were so different when she was like telling them that, like, even when she was at the restaurant, she had her hair pulled back. Lebeth, I agree with you. Like you must be crying about something else, sissy, because this cannot even be that serious, right? Like, really. I mean, and Erica's like pumping her up, you know. Erica's pumping her up, pumping her up, pumping her up, pumping up. And she's so aggressive about it at this point that Kyle is treacherous. Erica was so damn aggressive about it that it was obvious, you know. And she didn't even care that it was obvious that she was egging her on. And then I really think they just wanted to know what the rumors were. Crystal definitely knows what she is doing. I think so too. And I think that the ladies, her friend group, dropped her due to how they were treated by Crystal. Right. But they wanted to know the details, like who's the friend group, what, you know. But Lisa already knew. So if Lisa knew, then Erica knew. So her whole, I just wanted to know what, you know, what they knew. No, Lisa damn told you. She told you what she knew. I wonder what, did you, Erica was drunk. I actually believe Crystal when it comes to Sutton. I mean, that girl did come out on TikTok. Here's another thing. I don't think Erica is drunk and taking, I think it's an act. And I think it's a storyline. And I think she was like, okay, I'll play the drug addict victim this year. I'll take one for the team again. But I'm putting, you know, someone else better have a damn good storyline too, because it's just not, but yeah, okay, I'll be the drunk one on pills. Because she's probably on pills all the time. Those women like have access to this, like they do. They take a Xanax for anything. You should get those 14 friends on here. Oh, Beverly, Brenna looking for her storyline, and Erica wants the heat on anybody but herself. Exactly. I want the 14 friends to come on too. That's a really good idea. I was heard though that Teddy Mellencamp might have been part of the friend group, or Crystal is the woke police but is thirsty to be on the show that hires the racist elite. I know it doesn't make much sense. Yeah, I heard Teddy is involved in the 14 friend group. Erica has been in her shoes for the last 2 seasons. For sure. That's why I think she's happy to like sit back and be like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, have a couple of extra drinks, have a little extra fun, put it, you know, just whatever. She probably drinks and takes pills all the time. Crystal being shady about Sutton saying something very dark a year ago and then wouldn't elaborate is bullshit. I agree with you, Andrew, because it pisses viewers off because we know that they know. Like I said, if Lisa Rinna knows, Erica knows. I don't. Crystal just wants to split hair with everything. I agree with Dorito about her saying she wasn't in the safe place at Kyle's. I agree with that too. I think that she is anxious. I do feel bad for her that she's anxious, but I also think that we've heard about it all season, and that if it's that serious, maybe you should step out from filming and let's bring one of the new ladies in for a little bit and figure out what's going on, because I just don't think healing from a robbery and like you know, therapy classes and stuff, like we've seen a lot of that on the Housewives before, and we want her to be healthy, but we also want to see a little bit more, and you can't blame us as viewers. So if you are, you know, suffering severely and the girls trip isn't working, then maybe, you know, just rest and be with your family. Maybe that's just what she needed at the time. Maybe she had the pressure of having to work on her work. Maybe she, you know, needed the paycheck, which would probably be my guess. I mean, PK works for Boy George. How much money is he worth? A lot of money, and I don't know it, because I also thought that Travis Barker wasn't worth a whole lot of money, and then he bought Courtney $1 million ring, and I googled it. I heard Teddy was the one mentioned in the 14 friend group also. Yes, I heard that. I did. I did. Which I feel like their kids are more the same age, actually. You know, her kids probably are like, because Teddy Mellencamp's little boy Cruz, he probably looks like to be Crystal's daughter's age, I would assume. So actually, that would make total sense that um his net worth is 50 million. Boy George's? Boy George is worth 50 million? I didn't know that. I mean, I know he like toured and stuff, like he went on shows, but I didn't know he was worth 50 million. Are you sure? Can't they lie about that, Alan? Can't they lie to Wikipedia though and stuff and just say what they want? Why would Erica do without the show for money? I don't see her have a backup job. I don't know what she would do. They need to name the 14 names and why they dropped Crystal now. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it pisses viewers off because it's like, okay, the whole cast knows. Like, if and let me research. Thank you, Alan. Do a little research on Boy George. I don't think 50 million's right. Yeah, like, name the people. I don't understand. T says Boy George is English and he's smart and he invests his money. I mean, that would be cool. That would be like, whose else's husband did that? Monique's husband from the Real Housewives of Potomac. And that's why they were like gonna come back that next season. They had plans to come back. That's why they filmed the reunion. And after they saw how they aired them, their cut on the reunion, they didn't come back. And Andy made kind of a shitty comment about them needing a paycheck from Bravo. And I love Culture Club. They were big back in the day on MTV. That's so funny. Yes, MTV, right? It doesn't matter. Dorito is not going to become fully herself until time passes and no hiccups in between time. When I was 18, I was mugged up at gunpoint and never got it. Speaking of Beverly Hills, Diana and Sutton. I didn't see the rest about Diana and Sutton. My chest, it never goes away. I loved Monique. I loved Monique too. I was so mad she left. I mean, that's why I think Carlos King is like, with all this racist things, Nene is suing them, and Carlos King has got Monique running the show in DC. Who else? He brought on back all the original OG Nene, and the net worth is said to be between 40 and 50 million on 3 sites, and says he made 1.6 million in 2021. And Alan loves Monique. Damn, I'm actually really glad you told me that, Alan, because I thought he didn't have any money. There was no gun. Oh, I mean, exactly. I think that it will take a long time. From memory, didn't Dorito bring Teddy onto the show? No, I don't know who brought Teddy onto the show, to be honest with you. I can't remember. I believe Sutton is racist. Oh, she might be. I just Googled Boy George's worth. It says 50 million. That's why PK keeps her around Beverly. Diana Jacobs, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm so glad you're okay now. Me too, Diana. I'm sure that is very traumatic. I like I said, I'm definitely like not taking that away from her. I just think, like you said, she might need to step away for a little bit and rest. Be with her kids until she feels better. I love Monique too. Heather McDonald just did an interview with Carlos. Dude, he's killing it. Like, he brought back Kim Zolciak. I know, Andrea Beverly is funny. He brought back Kim Zolciak. I cannot remember the one lady's name. She was the original, and Sheree was on there, and they talked about Nene. And basically, you know, I thought the same thing. Where is Kathy? She's supposed to be making $1 million on this season for what? She's never on. I know. We haven't even seen. And I'm like, why are we waiting to see the other women too? Is it because it got so boring? You're just gonna bring them in mid-season? Because the episodes, like the last 2, have not been super. You know, we haven't seen much. I mean, what did we see? Nothing really. We heard about Diana's book. Okay, we already knew about Diana's book. I love Carlos King. Lisa Wu, that's who it was. Lisa Wu was on there. And I love Lisa Wu. And it was so funny because they were talking about Nene's like, you know, how she's suing, and she was, you know, she was making some, statements about Kim Zolciak possibly being racist, allegedly. And Kim Wu was like, well, every time they wanted to bring, Diana says, oh, thanks, Diana, so sweet of you. Luckily, it's been many years, but I never want to go through that. I begged for my life. That's so terrible. We're sorry that you went through that. So terrible. I lost my train of thought. That happens to me sometimes. I'm sorry. I know who we were talking about, and I forgot now. Oh, Monique and Lisa. Oh, so Carlos says something to Kim Zolciak about being mentioned in the lawsuit at Bravo, and Lisa Wu says, well, how come it was always when anytime they wanted to say, we want to bring somebody back, that NeNe would always say, bring him back, bring him back, bring him back, bring him back. Like kind of dissing NeNe for like never asking her, like never putting her name out there to come back, but at the same time putting Kim's name to come back. And Kim, was allegedly, making racist. That doesn't make sense. So Kim said that she was going to let NeNe deal with Bravo and then she would deal with NeNe. So, and from a side view, her nose looks like she's had like 100 million nose jobs. Seriously. And I think she needed the paycheck. That's why she went on the show. I told you guys, like, she was selling all the kids. They have their own website where they're selling all their clothes and their gently used shoes and stuff. And then she was selling like a spiritual box, a spiritual subscription box, if you will. And then people weren't getting their boxes. But let's talk about the blind item that came out. This blind item came out from Hollywood Days and Nights, but was also reported by Bravo Snark Side, because they are on top of it over there. And they really like kind of decorate the hot topic, the blind item. It looks good. So we copy and paste it. Kim isn't racist at all. Plus, Kim got her own spinoff for 8 years. Now Kim would just like solo money. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I think she would like solo money too. But Tardy for the Party wasn't going to do it 10 years later with Croy. I don't know if you blame Bravo or their execs. That's what I'm saying. We're loving Carlos King, and he's listening to viewers a little bit, I feel like, and he's asking the stuff that we really want to hear. And I don't know, it was a really good episode. I didn't necessarily like the one that he did with Heavenly from Married to Medicine, because they were like standing at a table and it was kind of like Heavenly versus the dude from the show in DC, and it just was a little like Heavenly, she's not, she very much used to like to have her husband speak when it came to men. Troy and Kim are both racist. Troy brought a gun to a reunion with women, black women. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I just remember the episode of Kim and NeNe and Lindsay Lohan's dad. And I probably talked about this in my last live, and I can't help it. But that episode is forever left in my brain. I'm not a fan of Heavenly anyway. Yeah. It just wasn't a good setup. You know what I mean? Like on set wise, it didn't look comfortable. Like I think that people have to look comfortable if you want them to talk. Like they don't want to be standing and heel. You know what I mean? Like that's uncomfortable. You need a comfortable setting. People are dressed in attire that's fancy or dressy or black tie or whatever, and they need to not be having to pull on their dress here. I mean, women are already naturally like, oh, I gotta keep this up, I gotta pull this down, keep this up, pull that down. Do you watch? Yeah, I used to watch Married to Medicine all the time. Carlos cleared up the Melissa and Teresa, how Melissa did go on the show behind her back, and Teresa was blindsided. See? She treats people like she's better than them. Kim Zolciak does? I know. That's the only thing that pisses me off about her. You're right. She does. She does. I would love Lisa Wu to come back to the Atlanta Housewives. Yeah. She was really getting it. I was like, damn, Lisa. Okay. And you know who else I love? Mariah from Married to Medicine. That's what turned me off from Married to Medicine. When they got rid of her, I was just like, you guys just messed up. And he had Mariah on. I remember when Corey did that, and when he followed Kim to girls' night and sat in the car. I remember that too. But I think that's just him being like her bitch boy And he drives her places wherever she's got to go, and he waits in the car while she gets her nails done and while she gets her hair done. Corey just waits in the car for her. I just feel like that's his thing. I love TS says I love Mariah. Andrew says no, Heavenly treats people like she's better than them. Oh, Heavenly, yeah, I know she does. I don't like that either. I think it's actually an insecurity though, because they took I watched the episode where they actually go back to her childhood home in Florida, and it was like a very small home, and she was just very sad. Like she didn't have a good home life. Troy is a good old boy. Of course he carries the gun, but he doesn't carry a gun with internet to shoot the entire Atlanta housewives. Ugh. Larry Beth about Lisa Will, yeah. Supposedly Gina pushed him down the steps so his kids don't come. Oh, they don't want to go there anymore. Love me some Kelly Dodd. That makes sense, Donna. So there's like a custody. So now you have a child support issue, and now you have a custody issue. Probably partially stemming from, is Kim still friends with Sweetie? Good point, Alan. Yeah, I finally caught your live. You're awesome. Stay blessed. Thank you, Tara. You stay blessed, sissy. Sometimes I like to, 3 kids in each room. Yeah, I mean, and those kids probably don't want to go to their dad's house and where they share a room with kids who that's like the other kids are there full time. So you're how much space can you really feel like is yours if there's other kids that live there full time? Like you're just bringing your bag over. Like I don't know. You can tell Rick and Kelly really love each other. Yeah, he loves her. I think she has a good one with him, and they're like in the right season of their lives, each of them. But his daughter's messed up about it, and that's the kind of shitty thing. And she did get married, and he wasn't there, and that's kind of. I'm not gonna say that's Kelly's fault at all. I'm just gonna say that I think Kelly has been a contingency. Is that the word I'm looking for? In their relationship. Alan, I don't believe she's still friends with Sweetie. I don't mean to forget about Sweetie, but I think I do, because like my nature is, she was shitty. That's terrible. I forgot about that. I think that she liked shock factor, and she just used to say put stories on her IG, always doing the fun things like swimming, for example, and they look good and healthy, like they're always having fun. Gina, I think Gina's a good mom. I think she tries to be a good mom as best as she can, for sure. I do think that. I just think that are Mauricio and Rick friends? I don't know if they really know each other all like that, to be honest. Beverly Hills and OC don't really, it's like different types of people. It's even though the OC is only, how like a 40-minute drive sometimes, it's only a couple miles. I mean, it's very different people. The OC is, closer to Katarina Island, and that Beverly Hills is not that. No, Kathy's husband and Kyle's husband. Oh, they attend events together now, at least. They'll at least attend an event together if they have to, at least, which is better than they were whenever Lisa Vanderpump was on the show, because that's when Nikki was getting married, and she wasn't even going to invite Kyle at all, and she ended up inviting Kyle and Kyle's oldest daughter, the one whose dad is different than Mauricio. I can't stand Tamara. She's so desperate to get back on the show. Gina was very mean and snotty last season, and how she treated Shannon was disgusting. I hope she isn't coming back. You're right, Donna. She did kind of treat Shannon a little bit shitty, because Shannon did come through with an attorney for her, and I don't think that she made her pay, and that wasn't free. And I remember when they took the limo and drove down to Beverly Hills, and Shannon was like, listen, Gina, I went through a terrible divorce. I went through it on the show. My husband cheated on me too. I was embarrassed too. Like, let's have a good day. Go pick out some outfits, try some, if you find something. And she ended up buying her an outfit, and it was like a $6,000 shirt. I mean, she bought the whole thing, like shirt, shoes, dress, or shoes, pants, shirt, everything for her, like, because she felt bad about the divorce and the husband cheating and such. So I thought that was nice. I did think that was a nice gesture. I don't think the show paid for it. I think that Shannon paid for it. Like, she just did it because she wanted to. And then on top of that, she saved your ass from going to jail. I know Teddi and Tamara are friends because I listen to their podcast, Two T's in a Pod. Yes, but they weren't friends until they... Actually, that was Teddi's podcast first. She, like, had the something T-Pod cast, and then Tamara joined after, you know, she was off the Orange County for a while, and then she came back. And I see what they kind of did with that. You know, they really... Teddi isn't as complete. Like, she's a little more tolerable, I feel like, when she's talking to Tamara. But people just don't want any more of her. They just don't. They don't want any more. They just don't. They don't buy it. The whole diet plan, the gastric lap band, you know, the dude's business, that sketchy is, yeah, you know, hell, and like, how much is your dad really helping you? And like, I don't know. I just think people don't like her. Bravo doesn't even like want her to film for free. When it comes from the heart, you just gotta say thank you for making me feel special. However, Gina does, yeah, grateful. Shannon was a good friend to Gina. Of course, she wanted to let everyone know. I know. I'm over Tamara, but love Teddi. Really, Andrea? Amen to Gina not coming back. You love Teddi? I never hear people say they love Teddi. Not that I'm saying that she's not lovable, because she is, I'm sure, very lovable. I'm just saying we don't hear it a lot. Ever, usually. I mean, I'm not saying that I hate her. Like, I'm saying, like, I don't find her entertaining. Like, I want to watch her on the show. Like, I felt like how she was on the show was annoying a little bit. When I saw Teddi at Kyle's store opening. Girl, bye. She was doing E.T. I can't stand Shannon. I'm over her. Yeah, she was doing... Teddi was dressed... This is when Teddi looked she kind of looked like she had warped into Kyle a little bit. I'm not trying to be mean. She had dyed her hair dark. She was wearing a leopard print shirt, and she was filming for E.T. She was doing, like, the commentary. She was doing the interviews with the girls. Remember, she did Dorit's interview. Bringing me to my next point, Teddi. Ugh, sorry, Andrea. I'm with you, LaBeth. Seriously. I'm over Teddi. I tried. I tried. Like, when they went to Italy, the whole Denise Richards thing, they went to that dinner, and Teddi was like, she said you guys had sex. Like, you guys had sex. I mean, if you would have been kissing, it was fine, but you had sex. I'm disgusted with you. That's how she acted. Remember in Italy when they were trying to out Denise? Speaking of Denise Richards, a couple of months ago, I posted an article on my Instagram about Sammy moving in with her dad. You're hilarious. Right on the money about Teddi's look-alike. Teddi is messy. I love Shannon too. Her problem is she tries to fault about your description of... Listen, it was crazy. And then she turned around and said, I'm not giving Bravo any free filming time. And it was like, they wouldn't even let you film for free. Like, you were filming for free and they were cutting you out. Her dad gave Kyle a whole effing concert for being Teddi's friend. He was like, what was your best experience? Hold on, Tia said Shannon has brought it since day one. The dad, Teddi Mellencamp's dad, everyone knows who he is. He asked Kyle what was the best thing that ever came out of her whole time at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And her answer was, I just want to make sure I say it right. Her answer was the friendship with your daughter. And he was so moved that he put on a private candle-lit concert on Instagram, of course, because we definitely, posted it like 100 times. Yeah, and he did a private little concert for Kyle and the whole fam in Aspen with like all these candles lit by the fire with their blankets and yeah, because and they literally put that's like what Kyle and Teddy said, like that was the comments in there, that Dad asked Kyle what the best thing to ever come out of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has been for her, and it was our friendship. I have no words. I have no words. Kyle is vile. Kyle got a breast reduction and wasn't going to tell anyone, and Andy Cohen outed her on Watch What Happens Live. She wanted people to feel bad for her, and she posted a little tray of like soup. Was Mauricio there? She said she was working for Extra Bravo. She did show back in the one pan room where Garcelle went up to her and said hi. But Garcelle, I love Garcelle for that. Kyle probably loves John Mellencamp. She does. And yes, Mauricio, their whole family was there. They were like in Aspen. Positive money came first. Thank you, Dreamer. Positive money came first too. Okay, and all the other free comps and things that she gets sent to her, and best tables and seats and whatever. Like there's a lot more that comes than we see just the paycheck. But yeah, it was like in Aspen at their house. With the whole family, the kids, the daughters. The daughters always go to Aspen too. You guys know that, all four of them. They dress alike. I don't know. It's for someone who hurt her back and said she was stuck in bed. Kyle was dancing at some bar the other night. I'm being facetious about Mauricio. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that was the night she was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy outed her for having her breast reduction because she wasn't going to tell anyone. And 4 days before that, she posted on her Instagram a side-by-side photo. It was like a picture of her tray with like soup and a cup, and like she was in bed, and it said like, hurt my back so bad, so much pain today because I hurt my back. But she didn't tell anyone why, so she had everyone going crazy like, what happened to Kyle? Like, did she get, like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, what has happened to Kyle's back? Did she throw it out exercising? Did it happen at the show? Did Kyle crave attention? She craves attention. She does. I feel like Kathy and Kim and Kyle all have their own dysfunction that they play in their dysfunctional family, and Kyle loves it. I think they all like attention. I don't think Kim really wants attention anymore. The house is now for sale, probably because it's going to be featured on the show now. If Erica did that, it would be an uproar. Yeah. She is about to stand to make double on the house now that it's been aired on the show. You're exactly right, Donna Harris. You mean after she hurt her back. I think that they bought it for like 4.5 and they're selling it for like 9.7, and allegedly they're selling it because the market's just going to keep going down, but they're still stand to make, $5 million off of it, which as much as they're there, I'd find a little strange because it seems like they are always there in the winter time. So they must have gotten something new. There must be a new hot spot, and Aspen isn't it anymore. And they've got property or something there, and she just hasn't told anyone until she sells the house, because she wants everyone to think that Aspen's still the place to be so that they can sell the house and make the money. And then she'll be like, oh, no, Aspen's not the place to be. Yeah, she said she was in bed and then she was out filming. Yep. That's because she got drunk. Because she probably got drunk and said F it. Because the sober person would have remembered that they had posted on their Instagram the day before that they hurt their back. And a drunk person at a bar the next day would be like, F it. Or probably will rent. Yeah, they could. I feel like they like to show that they have a travel home. They think a fan will be crazy enough to pay for it because it's their house. I know. I agree with you. I do, 1,000%. It's crazy, and they all think it. That's why Dorit and PK, when they were trying to make $3 million off their house in Beverly Hills, had it featured on the Beverly Hills listing, which got their house allegedly robbed the first time. yeah, I don't know. It's all very sketchy, guys. It's all very, very, very sketchy. And I just feel like they're playing us now. Like, I mean, we haven't seen things like this come out about one franchise all at the same time. Do they have money though? We all know her husband owes money. Tom isn't the only one. Doritos husband owes money. Yeah, but they when they originally came on the show though, they lived in that really beautiful Beverly Hills home that had like the spiral stake, and I think it was in the Hollywood Hills, well, Beverly Hills. It was beautiful. But it wasn't even really in their name. They do that whole thing. One of his business partners, one of PK has good connections. PK has a business partner that's very, very, very wealthy. That's why they buy these houses, they live in them. That's why it's in like Doritos' name, and then they end up selling it. Erica did on purpose. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that all. I'm so sorry. They do it on purpose. They live there. They showcase it on the show. PK and Dorit pay a small portion of what the house is valued out each month to really basically equal out, and the cost of keep up. And then in a couple of years, they sell it. And the business partner and PK make money, or PK lived for free and the business partner makes money, whatever the case may be. That's basically the setup that they have. I mean, that's why when they sold their other house and bought this one, Dorito was talking about how this was her dream home, this modern cringe. What about EJ being drunk in the next episode talking about her assets used to be a boat with the boat's name illegal? I know. Do you really think she said that, or they just made the cut sound like that? I kind of wondered, would she really say that? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't buy it for 1 second. Like, you worked in a strip club, like an undercover strip club of Tom Girardi's, with people probably blowing drugs off of each other. Do you think Bravo sets up these women to have inside connections to their scandals or crimes? Bravo knew about the rumors and Diana. I don't know what's going on with the rumor. I don't know what Bravo's thinking with that. Dory seems to have lost her accent. Patricia, that's so funny that you say that, because every time she is around someone that has a true European accent, she tones her accent down. Every single time. I can't think who the other person was that she was around that had an accent. I think she said it due to being drunk. Speech was slurred. So true. I feel like Bravo's going downhill. I don't know what they're doing. I never underestimated anything comes out of EJ's mouth. I don't think she would be that. I think that that's why I think that's why I think she's lying. That's why I think that she's lying. I just don't believe it. I just don't. Maybe she's like having a drink and, taking a half a Xanax and being a little loopy and having like making fun of it or something. I just don't think that she's, I think like 75% of America is on some form of an antidepressant, and, everyone knows that you shouldn't drink on any sort of, obviously a antidepressant as, and alcohol being a depressant, they're going to cancel each other out, right? But I think a lot of people still drink on them, and it doesn't make them like crazy. Erica's just trying to act like she is down and out so they stop coming for her. I know, I think so, TS. I think it's just, that's the only thing. What was her storyline going to be if it wasn't that? She's still married. Patricia, Dorito loses her accent every other week. I don't know if it's me, but I can't stand the way she says baby or calls her husband Bubbalicious. Where does Dina with all this money? Diana, where does Diana get all this money? Oh, because she still does things overseas and allegedly helps refugees make their way out of Bosnia or something down the coast in boats. And that's, Diana got 200 million from her ex. There's that. He's still speaks highly of her. And if she was a madam, she started out on the streets. Liz Johnson, Diana got around 250 million from her divorce. Yeah. but she also has that's where a lot of the trafficking allegations come up, is because the way that it's set up in Bosnia. I read somewhere Diana's brother was murdered. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. The way that it's set up is like, I don't know, like they're like on the ocean. So it's like it's like the refugees come from, I don't have a map behind me. I'm not, sorry guys. I'm not Fox News or CNN News. I'm not any news. And if I was, I wish I had a map behind me and I would show you the Bosnia is here and there's like a trafficking country that traffics children here. And that's like a really easy route from where she's, you know, because allegedly that's what Diana does, is help the children, and she runs you know, these agencies. Erica's trying to play us. Hell yeah. They shut down the help she's giving to refugees in Haiti. Did you guys hear that? They shut down the help that she was giving refugees in Haiti. Do you guys know the rumors about Hillary? And I used to be Clinton fans. Diana's brother was in war and was killed. That's terrible. I used to be Bill Clinton fan. I used to be a Hillary Clinton fan. And when I heard the things that were happening with their foundation in Haiti, I was sickened. And I did not have nothing nice to say about them at all. And anyone, and Anthony Weiner's computer, who was married to Hillary's right-hand woman, and he was caught sending photos of himself to underage girls. And like 7 out of the 9 police officers that saw that laptop they unalived themselves. So that tells me that there was definitely stuff that they didn't want us to see on there. TS, I agree 100%. So, it's a dangerous thing to talk about. You have to be careful with those kind of rumors. Yep. A lot of it's Quan, that too. Did they go to jail? Anthony Weiner did go to jail. He was convicted. Yeah. That was like on all the news stations. What he was sending naked, they found naked photos of him to underage girls. Yeah. And he went to prison. And I felt bad for his wife, but I don't know, just, I'm not saying that all of that's 100% true by any means. I'm just saying that I do think that Bill and Hillary were involved in some really shady things going on in Haiti and their Haiti foundation, that they were taking money, that they didn't build any houses. I mean, Red Cross, I mean, Haiti's had it rough. So I just don't really dig anyone that's super affiliated with Bill and Hillary Clinton like that. I don't know, it's a little sketch to me. It was on Fox News about Diana. Really? I didn't know that, because Rick did a talk about it. I don't talk about it usually ever. I talked about it yesterday because of the comments, and in this, just because you do have to be, there was a woman and a man that committed suicide who worked with the Clintons. There's that too. You know what I mean? What about the lady that runs the Amber Alert, that was caught trafficking children 2 times? Haiti people need to leave that voodoo alone. It's not helping them. Hey girl, hey. What was I going to talk to you guys about? It was something New Jersey. I saw Teresa on Instagram, and they were throwing a party. I don't know what the party was for though, if it was one of the girls' birthdays, but she had the mansion decked out. She had all these balloons everywhere, and she was, you know, just letting everyone know that her and her man are going strong, and it was like pretty nicely set up. And I did have someone reach out to me and give me some good tips and some good information on her wedding. Not every Haitian does voodoo. I am Haitian and have never done that stuff at all. Yeah, Liz, I agree with you 100%. Celebrating their new house. Definitely celebrating their new house. Yeah, they were, for sure. And I had, it was a housewarming party. Oh, I didn't, damn it. The love bubble theme. I got you. At Liz Johnson. Thank you. Remember, the Clintons were also associated with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. It's also messy. You know, you don't, I mean, I feel terrible. I feel very sad for the people, because I think the Red Cross did them dirty. They were supposed to build all these houses and they didn't. And people donated at, you would go into the grocery store or McDonald's and you would donate $1, and then these companies donated, and the Haitian people don't even see it. They said someone from the past is coming back to the OC. Who do you think it is? I thought Tamara. I really hope Louie does help Teresa with her anger calmer. I agree too. I just heard Margaret scored an invite to Trey's wedding. I thought she had one all along. I only have 10% battery though, guys, just so you know. We're about an hour in to our live Saturday night. Anything else you guys want to talk about real quick before we hop off? Anything? Anyone? Oh, the tea I had about Teresa was, TS, you should apologize for your rude comments about Haitians. TS, I think that Liz Johnson, you should apologize nicely, because I don't think that you meant it to say, and I probably didn't say it right, and you probably didn't mean it to sound like that. TS, yes you will, say you're sorry, seriously. Just say, I'm sorry, you can't categorize everyone. They said that Trey is going to therapy, she wants to work through her anger. I think that's great. I hope that Louie, I hope that he guides her in a more spiritual direction. She hangs out with Dina, who's super duper, already spiritual, Buddha and Zen, and she did a lot of yoga in prison, and I think it brought her peace. I just logged on in that Haiti statement and just racist and ignorant. I'm sorry, Teresa. I am sorry, Teresa. We just had this whole racist thing yesterday, so I think an apology is very appropriate. TS. That person always says rude comments. I'm sorry, Liz. I didn't realize that he, sometimes I'm just reading through, and I apologize. I should be more mindful. I don't read it ahead. I'm literally, reading it as it's coming at my screen, and I apologize on his behalf, because I would never, ever want anyone to feel that way. I know, but still. You guys know how I feel from yesterday. I mean, Philly was so sweet. She messaged me. She's super just vivacious and lovely and hardworking and a single mom. And Maria Femlina of the wedding is being taped for Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's probably why they're all invited, including Marge. Oh, Dina, do better, TS. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. You guys are too. You guys are great people. The person that gave me the insight, she told me that the place that, what? Not sure. I can say whatever. She's not saying that you can't say whatever. She's saying that your comment that Haitians need to stop doing voodoo is ignorant and rude, because you're saying all Haitians do voodoo and that's why bad things happen there, but that's not the case. Maybe you didn't realize that's what you said, TS. But that's what you said, and that's why, it would be very nice if you would just say that you were sorry for anything offensive that you may have said or that we interpreted it. Anyways, make love, not war, guys. Come on, please. No, seriously, I heard that it's expensive ATF. The lady said that, hey, Donna. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Maria. The lady said it was expensive as F and that she took her daughter there. We won't let them change your chat. Thank you. Let's talk about Teresa. They said that the venue is super duper expensive. They went there to price a wedding for her daughter for 150 people. For an afternoon Sunday wedding. This just proves that TS person mean exactly what they say. Similar to Diana, you don't have to apologize. The universe handles them. That's true. Thank you for saying that, Liz. She said for 150 people on a Sunday afternoon, 70,500 for the place that Teresa's getting married on a Sunday afternoon for maybe it was $250. I think it was $250. But yeah,
over 70,000 some. How true it is, Liz. I know, Liz is like so wise. I don't know, Teresa. Well, that's what I'm saying. If Bravo doesn't foot the bill, then I feel like they'll have to sell the story, so they'll have to keep it quiet. So then they would have had to have changed the date and the time. And I also think that maybe the venue is going to cut the venue just like their price for the location if they're going to get, time. I honestly think Teresa can afford it. I think she can too. I just think that she spends her money. She will sell the story and picks though too. That's exactly. If Bravo doesn't go, then that's just much more that she can sell like to People magazine, because they're going to keep the, people aren't going to be allowed to post but nothing until basically they can sell their story a couple of times, whatever the case may be. If Bravo comes in, they'll probably definitely foot some of the bill. The place could just say that she just has to pay for the vendors. Bravo is paying Teresa double what the wedding costs. Exactly. If they film, they're gonna pay her more. Exactly. Yeah, she's winning at all angles. I really wonder how much Teresa makes from Bravo. A lot. I'm sure Teresa's getting paid extra to tape her wedding. I'm sure Bravo's paying for something. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. They keep like teetering us if she really wants them to film it or not. I think she really held out, surprisingly. And I almost to the point where I wonder if there's like a part of her that realizes like she's gonna have pressure on her, and that then the women are the producers are gonna be there, and the women and the questions, and she said like they can't play certain songs, and there's just a lot of stipulations, but I think the women are worth it, and they take it because they want the notoriety and they want to be on TV, and they love it. She might have drama at her wedding if cameras are there. That's true. She's getting married on my birthday. The 6th. I just hope nobody ruins the wedding. I don't think they will. I don't think so. I think they'll probably have a really amazing, she makes $1 million a season, Kim D said on Dave's podcast. She's nosy, so I trust what Kim D says. According to Google, she makes $1.16 million a year. She probably does, but I think she spends a lot of money, and I think she has 4 daughters. I don't know what Joe, like what he brings. I think Teresa really values this wedding. She's been through a lot, and I think she would want drama there. Kim D is a hater on Teresa. I don't know how much Joe helps her. I can see 1 million. Oh my gosh, Camille, thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you. I just watched Kim D on Dave's podcast, spending wise. Yes. My phone was not I hope that my phone doesn't cut out, because it's going to make my screen cut out, because I only had a little bit of battery earlier. So just if you guys know I cut out, it's only because my phone died. I can try to run and find my charger, but I hate to leave you guys just stranded. So I hope Joe and Melissa behave. They're both thirsty, ATF. Well, Teresa's graciously asked Melissa to join in on the wedding festivities, so I think that Melissa will be happy, because I think she really thought Teresa wasn't going to have her in. That's why Melissa and Joe want Teresa booted, so they can get dibs on some of that money. Yeah, they are going broke. Go get it. It'll be okay. Tina says, get the charger. Okay, I will. Hold on. I thought I brought it, but damn it, I could never find my stuff.
Let's hope it didn't die. Did it die yet? No. Okay, perfect. Perfect. This guy in here. Plugged in. Are we charging? Yes. There we go. Then I just have to catch my breath because I'm old. I know, I found it. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, that was right about Melissa and Joe racked up with credit cards. They're still paying interest. Yeah, and they're trying to sell their shoreside house and they owe a lot of money on it. Thank you. You're so kind. Andy pointed that out too. Thanks, Teresa. They owe a lot of money on it. Like a lot of money. I don't think Andy will pay Joe and Melissa any more money. If Teresa leaves the show, they go. I agree, Alan. Without Teresa on the show, you have Melissa and Joe with no storyline. I agree, 1,000%. Maria is, I thought it was funny when on Watch What Happens Live, Andy put Joe in his place and said, Joe, we paused the show while Teresa was in jail. That's so funny. Oh, interesting. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that. And a caller called in and said, like, did he think that it was like hypocritical of him because he called Teresa like a bitch in season 3? And Joe was like, well, I mean, what happened? What'd she do? And Andy was like, oh, you also, he's like in the earpiece, and he's like, oh, and you also called her scumbag and trash, and yeah, season 4. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I shouldn't have done that. Oh, okay. Like, he played it cool, but not so cool either, because it's like, yeah, you did call her trash a couple of times. Like, you've called your sister some shitty names, so you should just own that because it's okay. You know what I mean? She shouldn't have called him bitch boy. Of course, that was like hurtful, disrespectful on TV. It wasn't for Joe. I don't think Melissa would even still be on. Her and her fake storylines would have been, yeah. And the fake Chanel's, her fake Chanel's, her fake storylines, and her fake Chanel's would be gone. Unfortunately, Joe is jealous of his sister. I think Melissa is a part of the problem. I think so, Joe. Well, I think that he feels like he has to provide a certain lifestyle for Melissa to keep her, because when she first met him, he was living in like a $1.4 million house that he had built that he ended up selling to like a billionaire football player who was like famous or something. It was like the first house he ever did. And Joe Giudice actually helped him and showed him and tried to like navigate him. Like, this is, you know, flipping houses was the big business at that time. So when Melissa met him, he owned the $1.4 million house. He was living there. And a month later, she had an issue with her roommate. She didn't have anywhere to go. And so she ended up, yeah, we all do. We all get pissed at our siblings and family and say things we don't mean. So Melissa moved into a $1.4 million house in like a month. And she, you know, I missed episodes of Watch What Happens Live. It's good to hear he was actually sticking up for Teresa for a change. I know, I thought so too. And Melissa like bragged about how much money they had, and like they say she was really, I mean, you have to think about it. If at one moment Joe and Teresa and Joe and Melissa are pretty much, you know, at the same level, like as in they live in nice neighborhoods, everything's, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the sister gets a deal to be on TV. No one's even heard of this show, really. She's friends with the Manzos. You know, that they were probably like, ooh, now she's filming with Carolyn Manzo. She's filming, because people don't realize that Dina, Jackie, and Teresa all worked at Kaufman's, which was later Macy's. And Jacqueline did hair and makeup, and so did Dina, and Teresa was a buyer. And another fun fact is, you'll never guess who else was a buyer for Kaufman's. And she's on the New York franchise. I agree, sick of Andy being up Marge's, but I'm sorry, I just can't. I know, hey, JoJo.
I know, I just want Andy to play fair. I just want Andy to play fair, and I want him to listen to what fans are saying. That's why, Teresa, you're right. It was Ramona. It was Ramona. It was Ramona. Yep. So that's how they knew each other. But Caroline playing the mother, like the, you know, like the godfather, but she was like the mother of the Manzos. I think that there was jealousy there. Like they were jealous of who Teresa and Joe were hanging out with. Like they had been married for a while, so they had made some friends. I believe Melissa and Joe are living above their means. I think so too. Marge always looks like she slept in her makeup. I know, bless her heart. Bless her heart. Lewis is trouble for Teresa. I don't know what's gonna happen about that. I want to know if we're gonna see the wedding on TV or not. That's what I want to know. I do. Guys, I don't know what happened. I thought it was charging and it wasn't. What are you guys talking about? Tell me. Start from the beginning. Don't leave anything out. No, really though. Excited for New Jersey. Excited to see these new 3 girls. Excited for Atlanta this week. And Teresa will get on a yacht and film on her own episode of Below Deck. Yep. I'm here. I made it back. Thank goodness. Yeah. I'm excited for the 3 new ladies in New Jersey. I'm ready to start. I hope they don't hold out on us like they did in Beverly Hills. I'm getting frustrated. And I'm thinking that all of this they're doing it all on purpose. It's like a fiasco. So like they had Lisa Rinna making all these comments everywhere, you know. Then they had Patrick. Yes, I'm back. Then they had me with my phone. It just doesn't want to work. I'm feeling still a little under the weather, and I've been like painting, so you know, but my antibiotic and steroid are definitely helping, so thank you God, because I had like such a bad like poison oak also from working outside on my house this summer. So it's been great. It's been great being a homeowner. It's awesome painting and mowing grass, and you look so pretty, by the way. I like your lighter eyebrows, and you are so sweet. Thank you. I literally don't have barely any makeup on. Like I've been cleaning. Yes, you're gonna win. Sending you vibes. Thank you so much, Teresa. Listen, it's just about getting up and making good decisions every day. I hire a chef at Teresa. You and I can drink lovely cocktails in the meantime. Oh, that sounds lovely. I want to drink lovely cocktails in the meantime. Talk about Peter Thomas and Bar One and all the rumors about him and Giselle and how they're allegedly hooking up. I'm a Diana expert. I work with Dana Wilkie on her Diana content. Really? That's awesome. How are you, like, do you, like, know a lot of people, or, Bar One? Oh, yeah, there's Bar One in Baltimore now. I was wondering how the feds watch these shows when Larson was making $10,000 a week on OnlyFans. I'll go take my ticket back now. I totally agree with you about Melissa thinking she's the show. As far as I'm concerned, she's thirsty. Yeah, she definitely thinks she's the show. If you guys watch her intro, I posted it. It got copyrighted, but it was crazy. We are doing a part 3 soon. That's awesome, Stefan. Are you from the air? Like, do you just know a lot about her? So that's really pretty. Do you think she's racist? Because I did see some photos that Dana had posted, like comments, I think from like the New York Times or something. And I want that audition tape released. Me too, Alan. Me too. Hello, I'm late. That's okay. Teresa doesn't hide anything about herself. And that's slacking with everyone else on the show except for Jennifer. It's true. Oh, you're a natural beauty. You don't need me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Listen, you said it right, though. Teresa's not hiding anything because Teresa needed the money. Hey, Corey. We don't need rich housewives that have millions and billions of dollars that as soon as they aren't like aired in a great light, that they just say F it and leave the show. We saw Lisa Barlow say it in the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She said, I got more money than all of you. I know. I am busy, Jojo. You have no idea. I've always loved the name Rise. I know one guy. I know. That's a cool name. Um, Lisa Bartlow, first time, got caught. I studied since June. Oh my goodness. Okay. You probably know a lot about her. Is there some sort of like thing charity that she does where I was speaking about no, Lisa has not left the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but whenever she got caught in that hot mic moment and she was yelling at all the women, like the first thing she said was, basically, I have more money than all of you bitches. I don't have to be here. So as soon as something airs that they don't like, then they want to stop, Yeah, right. What are your thoughts? Can you tell us anything at all? Is she running some sort of where I don't even know what you would call it. An orphanage? Lisa Barlow is gone from God, no, she's definitely not gone. No. Sorry, I got interrupted mid-sentence. I was saying that when she got pissed, the first thing that she said when they were in Vail, when she got mad and she got caught having the hot mic moment. Before the hot mic moment, when she was in there with all those girls, the first thing she said was, I don't need this. No, she didn't leave. She said, I don't need this show. Like, I could leave whenever I want. Like, Ryan, Steph Curry. Oh, did you now? I missed what he said. Yeah, she said it to all the women as like an insult. Like, I don't have to be here. I don't need this paycheck. I have the money. If they don't like it, they can kiss my ass, basically. I hate when housewives do that. It's like my pet peeve. And she did that. Like, basically, you're threatening to leave if you don't like the narrative or if you don't like the edit. Like, I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't know. I don't like that at all. I just don't. So it's like if they have too much money, then they pick and choose what they want to film and how long they want. Clinton Chronicles run Diana's charities. Do you know anything about the Clintons? Do you know what we all know or think we know about the Clintons to be true? I don't care too much for Lisa Barlow, Corey says. I hope Teresa gets a prenup. Not 100% sure about Louis. Right, Diana needs to be fired. How did she get on the show in the first place? Right, how? We just want to know how she got on there in the first place. Like, does anyone think this friendly with Clintons is Addison, I said the same exact thing like 40 minutes ago. I said the same thing. Anyone associated with them, I'm good. Mena, Arkansas, Clintons. Some things are true about the Clintons, but most are high-powered politicians have their hands. They're all dirty. Diana wears all the Beverly Hills salaries, and Carter, I show her the hobby. Addison, for sure. The thing that freaks me out is like the children thing. Like, and I told you guys, if you guys go to her Instagram and you go down like a week, there's a gentleman, and I don't think it's her ex, even though they say her ex really supports her. It's a gentleman. He's a like political ambassador, and he's just raving about her. And within like the first minute of the video, he's like talking about how much she does for the children, and it just made me feel like ugh. And I've heard so much about like her just kind of being like a Ghislaine Maxwell, if you will, but to very rich Arabic and men. And these are the type of men that you see in a suit at work, but they're completely different in their sexual drives and needs behind closed doors. Diana steals kids from Haiti. Garcelle should be cutting sick. Trump and Clintons were all close friends before the elections. That's a good point. Do you guys think that HH will be able to get on here? What, HH on here? Oh, wait, who's HH? HH? I'm sorry. I know you can't bulk everyone, but anyone that works with the Clintons super closely, I do feel like it's just a little bit sketchy. She has, Trump dumped the Clintons years ago. Addison's like, no. Trump dumped the Clintons years ago. Well, they say Kathy Hilton's really good friends with Trump. Trump only went to Epstein Island to see what was going on there. He's done more to rescue the victims and any other person in Washington. He did pass some sort of human trafficking law. But that's the thing. Who's the lady in charge of the Amber Alert that was affiliated with the Clintons that was caught trafficking the children? Her and the missionaries were like locked in this like little country in a prison for like 8 hours. Marie, and the Clintons flip-flopped on trauma. They were, in this weird jail in some little country, and of course they came and got all of them. And the next time they caught her trying to come into another little country with a bunch of kids, they kept the kids and told her to get the F out of there. And so then the Clintons put her in front of the Amber Alert. And now she's been remarried and her last name's changed. But House Life Historian, yes, Maria. Do you have a question or a subject that you want to discuss? Or do you have a comment you want to say about Diana? The trafficking's too much for me. I never heard or saw any ties of Trump or Epstein. The Clintons have 200 plus suicided friends. I believe that. I do. He wasn't believing me that they checked the logs on the flights and it was Bill Clinton. I was going down there all the time. And Hillary, Lori Silby. That was that her name, right? Lori Silby, the one that Amber Alerts and then got caught. I still broke everyone. I got one number on my ticket that pays $0. Whether there's always Monday and Wednesday drawings to keep it rolling over. Right, is that who you meant? The one that I was talking about that got caught with the children twice and then she was put in charge of the Amber Alert system by the Clintons? Donna Harris, see, Trump was the friend and I'm plenty of pics with him. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Is getting to jail all the money. Diana better be careful. But this is what I'm... Okay, yes. Thank you, Rye. I appreciate that you know who I'm talking about and you know her name. Yeah, she was caught with children twice. The Clintons took care of it, and then they put her in a cush job and head of the Amber Alert system, the one that goes off for missing children when they're missing, when they're stolen. Yeah. Children are valuable. Literally, there's so many films like that you see people trying to steal kids midday from their parents, right from the parents' hand. It's like you can't leave your kid for 1 second because your kid is valuable, more valuable than anything. It's crazy. That's why I don't want to see Diana on the show because I feel like it's so dark. Like, look at where it takes us. And stole kids from Haiti. See, even Ryan just said that he is the expert on Diana Jenkins. And please go back and read what his comment just said. First of all, he was answering my questions. He knows the lady's name who I was talking about that was stealing the children, that head of the Amber Alert. Now she's remarried, has a different last name. You're right, Diana. It wasn't the same woman in the photo with Epstein, but she still has ties other places. Diana walked into a honey trap at Bravo. I think she had to have known. She had to have known. At Alan, I need people to yawn and do their research. But that's what I mean, guys. Like we come to Camille. Yeah, it isn't Diana in the picture. We come here to talk about the housewives to kind of get away from the hard politics of the world, so we don't have to be coarse, right? So we don't want to talk about Diana and all of her escapades and this type of stuff because it's just, you know what I mean? It's not good. And all we need to know in general, Rye, I appreciate everything you and all of your research and everything. But for us on our live, like we don't want to talk politics and Trumps and Clintons and stuff, guys. We want to relax, have a drink, have fun, talk these crazy women, right? So let's not end on a bad note. It is dark. If Crystal was going to use a word for dark, she should have used it for Diana. No, Rye. No, I don't apologize for anything. I appreciate all of your information. No. We've just been on our live for a while. So back to the crazy women. Exactly. Where was I going? Let's think Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We were talking, they're done filming now. Jen Shah just did her interview with Up and Adam. It was a 2-part episode. Her husband's there supporting her. I know, the children, JoJo. It's so sick. That's what I'm saying. Like, thank you, Beverly. No politics on the Saturday night. Yep, Jen Shah is still on it, and she is going to be going to court soon. So I don't know what they're going to do. She'll probably be going to court, I'm assuming, whenever Diana accusations are creepy. I know. Anyone affiliated with, yeah, Camille. But that's not new. I've heard it a lot. For sure. The guy's been investigated over. Yeah, it's really sad. It hangs with Diana. I know. Jen Shah still, she hasn't gone to court yet. No, Donna, she hasn't. She goes, I think like June or July. And I can't wait for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to return either. Because, guys, you know Sherelle's World had the uncle on, right? She had Mary Crosby's uncle on her show. I could not remember, but why is Jen talking? I have no idea. Oh, Elton was arrested. Well, Pizzagate. Yeah, because I think that's why she's doing the interview. She did the interview with Up and Adam because she wanted to do the interview, get it out the way before the trial starts, because she's gonna say that the show's not real, and any like wealth or excess that you see is part of the show and it's not actually part of her life. Do you think Erika Jayne will ever pay for the horrible things she's done with her greedy selves? I think we all reap what we sow. It just takes time. Jen Shah is in trouble with the judge again because they're saying she's withholding evidence. She goes on the 11th. What? I'm sorry, Camille, I didn't get your comment. She's getting in trouble. Okay, let me tell you guys something. Before Teresa and Joe Giudice, when they got in trouble, when they first got in trouble, they audited them, right? They weren't talking jail time until the government got the audit and realized they lied on it. And that pissed the judge off. And that's why they both got prison sentences. No, I don't think Erika will ever pay. I think there's a possibility that if Tom were to die, maybe she would pay. And we've talked about this before. Jen Shah needs to be locked up literally for doing what she did to her aunt and taking advantage of the elderly. I forgot about that. Why would she pay for things she knew nothing about? That's when Teresa was buying furniture and cash. That's exactly why Teresa went to prison. Erika Jayne doesn't even feel remorse for the victims. I talk about the fact that there's no way that they could ever bring up criminal charges against Tom Girardi because of how much pull he had in the California judicial system. And when I say that, I say it on all levels. I say it on, he was on campaigns, he paid for campaigns, judges' campaigns, prosecutors' campaigns, sheriffs, politicians, Senate, Congress, on him. If they convict him of something, then they would have to go back and look at all of their cases. They would have to go back and look at all this stuff. And what does Erika say this episode? What does she say? She says, oh, Tom used to grade the bar. So Tom was also deciding who got a law license and who didn't. So how can you expect people to turn him in to who? Anyways, who the hell are you going to turn Tom into? And he was literally making the final decision on who became attorneys or not. Feel better, housewife. Thank you. Erika and Tina are both Clinton cronies. Tom grabbed the bar. That was mind-blowing. I know, Tom has their own celebrity. Teresa's right. Elton John was investigated TP over one photograph. He wasn't arrested for it. Oh, I didn't know. I agree with you. Excuse the caps accident. Yeah, so, I don't know. I know that Teresa and Joe tried to lie on their audit too, and it ended up basically costing Joe his deportation. But they always were trying to break the rules too. Like, they had that New York, New Jersey mentality. Like, they broke rules. Just like Joe Gorga he went to the DMV and tried to get a license in his brother's name, and they were on the show. Have you seen the pic? Which pic? Which pick? I might, because I've seen a couple mafia mentality. Yeah, like they just had Tom will not pay for his sins. I think they'll say the victims are lying to save him. I mean, I just don't think they'll ever charge him criminally. I think they'll let him get his ass kicked in civil court all day. And I think they hope that he dies. It's revolting. It's disgusting. Is it her and then a younger girl in an Arabic, maybe with, I don't know, was it one on Twitter? Oh no, I did not see Elton's. See that at all. I didn't even know that happened. Oh, honest to God, right hand. I didn't know that. I'm not completely shocked because, like I said, I think if Tom dies in the next year, we will know why. I told you guys that whenever that all happened, that the government showed up in ASVAB suits and went in there. Tom kept paper files. But if Teresa Giudice and Mike Taranto went to prison for financial reasons, how could Tom and Erica get away with it? So much worse. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, how do we have a government, federal government picked up Teresa and Joe's case because they were doing bank loans, and because of that, they were signing papers with banks across state lines, and it made it a federal case, right? She just Googled it, Camille. And so therefore the federal government picked it up. And mind you, Joe and Teresa were like lying about how much they were getting, like home loans and stuff. Tom is part behind the scenes power. Like people like Tom control the politics. Absolutely, the feds need to audit Larsa's bank account for the $10,000 a week because Erica and Tom have more money than Mike. Tom's buildings are rated in association with Nexium. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, there's no way they could ever criminally prosecute him. You just made me laugh because you have to think about all of the people. The case has nothing to do with Eric. I don't know why people are blaming her on the actions of grown men. CEO 100% agree with you. She can't be allowed to get away. She deserves jail time. I think that if people would see if Tom did, she needs to like not side with Tom. She's still siding with Tom. Oh, yeah, that is a little interesting. I didn't know that either. I don't know. That's what makes it difficult for people because it's like, you should be upset too, shouldn't you? Because if you married this man and he let you spend victims' money for 20 years and let you think that you could live the excess of life with the nicest of things, jewelry, cars, planes, vacations for years and years, and then one day you just find out that he was lying and all of this money was from the victims and his clients and he let you spend it. Wouldn't you be angry? Wouldn't you be on the victim side? Wouldn't you be pissed? No, he gave the money. Alan says no, he gave the money, which he's been doing for 20 years. I know, but you would still be pissed that he gave you, if he gave you stolen money. Tom is a Freemason and just suits with Gavin Newsom. You're killing it tonight. I did not know he was a Freemason. I read a tweet. Lisa Rinna is really a man and gay rumor in true life. Oh, I just don't think it's her fault. Wives even question their husband's money. I agree with you. I don't think that it was her. She was like, yeah, honey, go ahead and keep, doing what you're doing because we got to keep this lifestyle up. I think that I would hate my husband. I wouldn't take the blame. Politics are Freemason. Most politicians are Freemason. Teresa, you're 100% right. The MTV Music Awards, the MTV Music building is like right above a really big Masonic temple, if you have ever seen that. But yeah, I just think that it was her impression of like how she handled the victims. And even now with the earrings, you know what I mean? Like they're saying, okay, Erica, these $90,000 earrings. I love Alan. We all love Alan. Alan is great. We love him and we love that he loves Erica, right? It's okay. We love that you love Erica. But I just think that the earrings were like $90,000 and I wouldn't give away my life for actions I didn't do. But she could give back the earrings. Like in a situation like this, They were $90,000 earrings. They said, look, the same day Tom bought you these earrings, he got a transaction, he got a settlement, and it was, from these people, and he took the money and literally went and bought you these $90,000 earrings. And she has had like 2 different opportunities, and she says that she's going to return them, and she doesn't. I don't believe she necessarily knew about his doings until COVID hit. That's what blew him up, guys. It was COVID, because he couldn't rob from Peter to pay Tom. Trey made the mistake of walking into Joe's office the first episode and getting $100,000 in cash as a... I know. That was a mention. There was a net worth of $1.4 million. One of the Diana's ruined business partners is the daughter of Hey Mickey singer. Uh-oh. That's not Amanda Bynes. It's the other one. Is that who you're saying? Addison Sheffield. I know how you feel the same. Aw, Camila. I mean, I think, like I said, when COVID hit, he couldn't take from Peter to pay Paul because the court system shut down. And that's when Erica starts talking about how she felt hopeless, like she didn't want to get out of bed anymore because she knew shit was about to get real because there was no court. You know what I mean? There was no court. No Vicky Cornell. Oh, okay. I'm going to do a little research on that. I blame the government. Absolutely. The system that allowed him to do it. Absolutely. I wonder why nobody blames the system, but only Erica. No, I agree with you. I think, you're right, Camila. Her drink was Nero. That's how she allegedly tried to say she got big when she was Kim Kardashian. Tom is the government. You're right, Teresa. Diana Junkins owns two TV stations, and she bailed out like the Bosnian president. She put up his bail or something. He was like, I don't even know. It was something crazy. I know, exactly. Commits tax fraud does a year. Nobody blames the government. Everyone blames America. No, I agree with you. That was the government. I mean, they didn't even disbar him until he didn't pay. After this happened, they still didn't even. That's because there were so many people involved, guys. They would have to go back and take all of these people. If you were somebody that was prosecuted by a judge that was put into power with victim money, and you're in prison, what are you gonna do? Hey, hello, I'm gonna need another case because the judge that sentenced me here, he shouldn't even be sitting on the bench because he got on the bench by, stolen money. Diana paid out people for her drink. I believe that. They live in Georgia. That's not weird. Yeah, like he was the government, 100%. They didn't even disbar him until he didn't make his payment. I love how the house historian can juggle 3 conversations at once. I love you. Thank you so much for that. That's so sweet. Erica's probably like, why the hell would I give up my earrings when the government won't even disbar him? That's so funny. Will Bravo ever cut run at Erica? Rena's working hard. I think she thought she was going to get the boot last season, and that's why she didn't stay gone long after her mom died. One, she couldn't afford it, and 2, she knew she had to bring it this season or she was going to be on the chopping block because they named her as being on the chopping block before we came back on this season. Just saying. PK might launder money for P. Very much could. EJ says she can't say anything about the victims. She had to be careful about what she says. However, gets drunk on the yacht immediately. I know, it's so funny. No, Bravo loves those too. Well, I think they want her to talk. Rena visited her mom one season and acted like they were beneath her. I know. And her sister, I guess, solely took care of the parents. And the sister has she doesn't have anything to do with Lisa. They don't have anything to do with one another, I don't think. And she never talked about her. Rena, I love as a TV villain, but she's unsettling because she draws light to issues that can ruin people's lives. Alan, I'm sure the government is loving that Erica's getting all the distraction. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even think they would know where to start. I mean, because partly it's also the California bar, their fault, because they've allowed him to do the transaction that he was doing, and everyone knew basically by the time it's been going on for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a really long time to be doing that, and everyone did know. And it was just one of the things. Yeah, the government wants anyone to take a hit. Everyone agrees with you, Alan. It's definitely the government's fault for 10 years. That it should never have went on for 10 years, ever. You're telling me that there's not one decent human being in 10 years that came across Tom Girardi and knew what he was doing and didn't turn him in? No, people turned him in. They ignored it. Dina posted about how much Nero PK has bought. Oh, really? Diana did post that. That's interesting. California is its own communist country in La La Land, corrupt from top to bottom. Bravo making cash while exposing lies. Google angle. The government is controlled by power plays. It's more greasing the palms than justice. Absolutely. He put on the shoes a while ago. I didn't know that about PK. That's very clever of him, isn't it? That's another reason I think she's kind of on the show, because they're all looking at her for an opportunity. Erica's looking at her like, I will lick any part of your body or anything that you need me to do at this point. Like, I can see it in her eyes, okay? Yes, Jojo, thank you. Hit the likes on this, please. Hit the likes. Turn your notification on. What's been going on with Corey Feldman? I actually don't know. I haven't seen him in a while, to be honest. But I do all feel like they're looking at Diana as a business opportunity. Like, I feel like Erica, like, is looking, like, giving, like, I don't know. Like, she's giving her, like, googly eyes. That's what I feel like. Like, I feel like she is trying to get in. Like, any in. She's like, what do you want me to do? Like, whatever it is, I will do. I'm here. Just so you know, I'm 55 plus, but I'm here for it and I need the money. So whatever you got, I'm cool with. That's what I feel like, Erica. And then PK comes up next. PK is like, well, how about I, could buy a lot of this and take it on the road, and we could sell it at Boy George concerts, and we'll get you lots of advertisements. At least Erica isn't botched and overly surgered like some of the others. Yeah, I agree with you, But they said she has to expose, I don't know, there is a blind item about she has to expose her sugar daddies. She's not an attractive person. She's definitely aging. Erica said she already knew Diana. I wonder why. I'm sure they all already knew about Diana. She hung out with Kim Kardashian, and we didn't barely even know that. How come she was so on the low then? I always suspected PK set up that whole house and I know. I think he does dirty work too. I do. I think that he has a business partner that I've heard of that's very big in the Beverly Hills area that is known to be a very shrewd player. I cannot believe the crazy things people are saying. Crazy rise with the UCL law connection. Kim has spent plenty of time in the Middle East before Kanye. Erica's already starting to look like Betty Davis. Sutton isn't aging well. Sutton, I don't know if she drinks sometimes, because it's like her legs are very slender, her arms are very slender, her face is very slender, but sometimes she looks bloated in her stomach, and I wonder if it's her body like just reacting. Maybe she has an alcoholic body. I have a chocolate booty. Camille, you're right. She has an alcoholic body. Jen Shaw made herself look worse. Kim had to pay the Arabic billionaires. Dorito and PK got robbed when they first joined. They got robbed when they first came on the show. You're 100% right. I did a whole breakdown on this. Camille, you're too funny. But she's right. She does. She has an alcoholic body. It's like skinny arms, skinny legs. Kim, big event in Venice where they were paid over. Wow. See, that's what I'm saying, guys. She gets a couple vulnerable women that don't have a lot going on in their life. She makes it look glamorous. She sells it to them, and she makes a profit off of it, and then she doesn't have to do it. That's crazy. I believe it though. Yeah, people who drink a lot don't have much of an appetite. No, the house invasion was true only a few days or weeks later. The founder's wife of Netflix, I believe he was shot and killed in the Beverly Hills home, a lady, 89. Okay, I know exactly who you're talking about, but whose house is that you just said, Diana? That was, he was the producer on Saturday Night Live, and she shot him, and then she shot herself in the bedroom, and the 2 kids were there sleeping. Far out celebrities make me feel depressed. I know. We have to stop talking. But that's what happened. It was sad. They said Tom was too big of a power player. People were too afraid of him to turn him in. I know. PK talks about gatekeeping bankers. Roger Jenkins. We work with idiots and to turn up this stupid show. I know, Camille. Can Diana, can you please tell me whose house now the people were killed in 89, who lives there now? Because that was in Encino Valley. We need to know, what are you with the house in 89, the murder. I know exactly who you're talking about. I can't think of the name. The wife's name was Bree. She was a blonde. Her brother blamed it on Paxil and alcohol. And she went to Peppa de Pippa, or the same place that Dorito redid, and she had drinks, and then she went to her friend's house, and she went there and had a gun and said she had killed her husband, and they went back to the house, and he was dead, and the friend thankfully called 911, got the kids out of the house. She called her sister and knew the theory. PK set up the robbery but didn't tell Doritos. I thought that theory too. Whatever happened to the face, Dorito lied about the gun. That's what I'm saying. Camille's amazing, isn't it? What we are doing wrong. Yeah, they did. I thought that too, right? I was like, okay, Dorito didn't know and PK set it up, right? Because I mean, we've all seen Man on Fire, Denzel Washington. Hello. They were setting up a fake kidnapping for money, and the daughter got kidnapped. You know about Kelsey Grammer's family was murdered, right? I did not know about his family and how they were murdered, actually. Love Camille, though. I mean, she's always on Twitter for a good time. She calls Dorit DK, and I think it's so funny because it's PK and then DK, and Dorit hates it. She hates that so bad. She hates Camille with her whole life. Nothing, we are doing nothing, let's never make it like we are wrong. Oh, you guys are so funny. No, so funny. But we had a great Saturday night. But the gun not mentioned is the bit that stumps me. That's where I was going. I think all Real Housewives drink a lot. Maybe not Crystal. I think they do too. Camille's ultimate MTV dancer back in the day. She was. I love her. That's why Kelsey is an Alka. Oh, I had no idea. Phil Hartman. Yes, it was Phil. His wife's name was Bree. Phil Hartman. But what about his house? It was an old lady, and she was 89. I don't know the confusion. Her husband had a sister. Oh, I thought you said it happened at a home invasion. Oh, I was confused then. I thought you were saying. But that did happen in Encino Valley. They left her phone by the gate, and the police report. That's exactly the thing, Donna. Take her good jewelry. They only took bags. Exactly. If he set up the robbery and she didn't know about it, I thought that too, right? Because she does seem genuinely traumatized. But there's no way that the LAPD, and Rick agreed with me, Rick Lethel from a Fox News associate for 25 years, okay, agreed with me and my comment on Reddit, okay? He pulled my comment on Reddit, not even knowing anything about me, Reddit, which said there's no way in the world that the LAPD would put out public reports that say there was no gun involved if there was a gun involved. There's no way. It would never happen. Camille, I'm with you. We don't want to be these famous people. We don't want to have money and greed. Make enough to take care of your family. Be blessed. Your health. You can win $1 million tomorrow and catch COVID. So your health is everything. We're blessed here. But yeah, so why would you lie about the gun then? If PK set up the robbery, then why are you saying there's a gun and LAPD is not saying there's a gun? LAPD isn't even saying there's a weapon. I like money too, Teresa, but I don't like the Illuminati. You guys know I was looking up the Hiltons. I was researching them. And Nikki Hilton Illuminati from a national website, the National Illuminati website. I don't know why I'm whispering, but I shouldn't even say it. I get nervous. But they made an official statement wishing Nikki and her new husband, a Rothschild, congratulations on their wedding. It was an official statement on their site. I posted it, and there was a couple of folks on here that saw it and went to the site and checked out the site. And that's what I'm talking about, Teresa. She's married to one of the most important, influential families in the entire world, okay? The entire world. And the Illuminati, on their official website, congratulated them on their wedding. And it wasn't like a little tiny 2-sentence line. It was the whole effing thing, okay? The triangle behind it. It's still posted. It's still on my post. Yeah, so just saying. The founder of the Rothschilds controlling bank arms for Teresa. You are so smart. You know what I'm talking about. You know Nikki is connected to the Manson family. I did not know that, actually. This site isn't legal, is it? That site is, yeah, they have their own site. I just wanted to win the Powerball. I just wanted to win the Powerball. Me too. I didn't play it, but so you're one step ahead of me, but I just want to win the Powerball. That's I did not know that Nikki was related to the Mansons. You know, they bring up the Mansons, that it was, the Illums. But we don't want to talk about them because they could be listening. No, but they have it on their website. It's there. You can check it out. It's an official Illuminati website. So, yeah, it's there. And there were other people, viewers, that went there and they agreed, like, it was legit. She's now asking for the earrings back, saying they have sentimental value. Where's the compassion, and what makes point? They're always listening. I know they are. They're always listening. Michael Jackson. Somebody is always watching me. Somebody is always watching me. Nikki wasn't besties with the bougies who, daughter of a Manson. I had no idea. I did not know that. Daughter of one of the Manson families. That makes more sense. That makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. That was a scary time, I'm sure, for a lot of people back then in those days. I mean, Beverly Hills wasn't like it is now, where somebody's robbed every single day, probably. I mean, like these houses, I mean, we did the math every single year between Dorit getting robbed one year, then Kyle got robbed. It was like Dorit started in 2019. She had the robbery at her house. She was on the show then. Then in 2020, Kyle got robbed. She wasn't home, but they were alerted. 2021, Teddy owns a home around the Beverly Hills area, and a rapper is shot and killed, and the house is robbed. I'm like, this is all crazy. That isn't the real Illuminati. Are you sure? The one that I posted? Because everyone... Oh, there's a company that's making money off the concept. Maybe. That's okay. Bougie and Nikki are implicated in a mercy of Casey Jones. Oh my gosh, Rye, you're going to have me down a freaking rabbit hole tonight. Casey Jones. Please don't tell me that's that. I feel like the Rothschilds are the Illuminati. Well, that's why they're congratulating them, and they're just putting it out there. I know, sissy, I know. It's crazy. It's the daughter of Brian Phillips, not Charlie. People who were trafficking, disappearing. Moral of the story: whether way the family is very much connected to the Illuminati, it's known things have been away for generations. They do blood drinking too. Yeah, absolutely. Megan Fox said it. Her MGK. And she even said it. She's like, it's not like we're like drinking tons of it. We just do it for ceremonial purposes. Lisa's stores were robbed twice. That was the other one. I saved the clip of them going on the Good Morning American show, Lisa and Harry, and they were promoting their own reality TV show, of course. And he had like this flip phone. That's how long ago it was. And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. It's live TV, but I have to take this call right now because our store is getting robbed. And of course, like Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda are like, oh my gosh, your store, Bella Blanca, da 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 da. Yeah, I don't think he was like that before either because he was from Cleveland. I know. Cleveland, East Side Wild Boy. I don't think so either. And he talked about his daughter. Yeah, I know. He used to be around him a lot and he was so regular. I know. I think she messed him up. Is that Ashton Kutcher had to testify her because they were going on a date and she was murdered? I'm sure they're listening to and watching us right now. I know, that's why we can't talk about them. We didn't even say anything bad. All we said was they were one of the strongest families in the world and everyone knows that. And they congratulated Nikki and they did. And they must want people to know that they congratulated or they wouldn't put it on the website. So I feel like we can all sleep safe tonight. Just saying. Everyone. We're fine. We're good. We're fine. Anyways, we're going to end this live on a good note. And celebrities are like cool kids who don't want to stop being cool kids. You're so funny, Camille. You guys are so great. I had so fun with you guys tonight. Alan, they're watching. That's why they're so hell-bent on all of abortion, because that's where we retrieve a lot of adrenochrome. That's so sad. I know. It's so sad. That's how they stay so young. Enjoy. Thank you for your spirit. Thank you guys for your spirit. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me on a Saturday night. I love that we got to talk about Diana. We actually didn't even get to talk about her excuse or her apology. We got so sidetracked and talking about the ladies, but I have some good content coming up. I told you guys I was sick. I had an infection from poison ivy, really, really, really bad. I was in the urgent care 2 different nights. Tequilas, say Hiltons are in a cult with, hey, I want to, I'm going to be rabbit holing tonight. It's going to be a late night for me, but I'm still going to have some really great content for you guys coming up. Up to speed with just some fun stuff that I've been seeing going on in the Real Housewives world for you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for a great night. We're glad we all agree to disagree on some things. I love this group. Seriously, pause. Teresa, that's what I appreciate too. Good night. I will be subscribing to your channel. Thank you, Corey. Turn the notification on. Thank you, Camille. But listen, you have a great point. We can all agree to disagree and have a great chat, even if it's not all the same. And that's why I love my channel. And that's what I want for my channel and for all of my viewers. I've been saying that. Yep, I do have a Twitter. I do. They bashed his wife for, oh my gosh. I'm glad you guys had fun. Jojo, I hope you're feeling take care. What is the H-Wife's house story? I will post it for you, Camille. I think it's just the housewife historian, but I'll double check for you. Definitely on Instagram, HW Historian. I'm always posting the receipts there because they don't hit me with the copyrights. So I post a lot of clips. I posted the old clips of Melissa when she first came on, and just different just stuff that I come across. Kathy Hilton when she was on the red carpet being asked about Lisa Rinna. I posted that for you guys. I posted the video of Lisa Rinna and her husband on the Good Morning American show when they were robbed. No, the Twitter's not private. It should be a housewife historian. I will look it up, Camille, and I will post it somewhere for you or in my description. Oh my God, I feel better. Thank you, Maria. I do. I don't use Insta. That's okay. I'll find you we'll find each other on Twitter. I'll get you my Twitter handle. I will. I think it's housewife historian or HW historian, housewife historian. I will find it for you, Camille. I'm sorry. I just can't think on the top of my head. But I had fun with you guys tonight. And like I said, I'm going to be getting some great content up for you. I've just been a little down and out. And I'm getting my new studio together. Everyone bashes me for being in the bathroom hiding from my child. So now I'm going to move out of the house and put my office somewhere else. Oh, that's so sad. Bye, beautiful. Bye, guys. I hope you have a great night. Thank you for chatting, and we will talk soon, okay? Thank you, Jojo. I hope you feel better too. Drop any comments or link, anything you guys are interested or any videos that you want. I'm always reading the comments, and I'm always bringing them out for you guys. So, and thank you, Teresa, for sending me that I was #1 Google search yesterday morning. I'm telling you, I was on it. Okay, I was on it. Addison. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll talk soon.